Welcome back to Drawing with Mr. Skywalker. Now, when we draw, we are drawing on a two-dimensional surface, and sometimes we'd like to add some realism to our drawings. One way to do this is to create the illusion of a three-dimensional space. We've already done this before using a technique called single point perspective or one point perspective. Well, after finishing this tutorial, you're going to learn how to draw in 2-point perspective, which will help create the illusion of 3D space. This is useful for when we're drawing rectangular shapes that are being viewed diagonally or turned at an angle. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. So what we're going to do is start off by defining our horizon line. So just like with the single point perspective, about 2/3 of the page, I'm going to draw a horizon line straight as I can. Next, this is where it's going to differ a little bit. I'm going to put 2 vanishing points on the page. So with single point, I'd put a single one, but with 2-point perspective, I'm going to put 2 vanishing points, one on each side. My next job is to draw the corner of the object that I'm going to be sort of drawing today, making it look three-dimensional. We're going to be doing a cuboid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a vertical line, and it's going to go through my horizon line. So I'm going to start about here and finish about here. Okay, my lines are a little bit thick, but you need to make sure that you're doing it quite faintly so you can rub it out afterwards. So we've started off, we've got our horizon line, we've got our 2 vanishing points, and we have the corner of the object that we're going to make look three-dimensional. Now, our next step is to draw lines from each end, each corner, going to the vanishing points. So I'm going to draw from this corner here, I'm going to draw a line to the vanishing point. And again, I'm going to do one from here to that vanishing point. I'm then going to do a line from this corner to this vanishing point. And finally from this corner to this vanishing point. Okay, so we've got what looks almost like a sort of squashed square or diamond. And what we need to do now is make this look like our three-dimensional shape. I'm going to do that by adding some parallel vertical lines in. So we've got our vertical line. I'm going to draw a parallel line on each side. So what I'll do is, to cheat today, is I'll use the width of the ruler. So I'll line up one side, and this line here will be parallel if I draw on the other. So that's lined up there. I'm going to draw a parallel line in between these diagonal lines. And you see, in between. And I'm going to do the same here. I'll line it up here. I'm going to cheat just today. Make sure my line is parallel in between these two lines here. And there we go. And all I need to do now is rub out all of the lines that I don't need. So I don't need this shape because it's a solid shape. That's why it's important not to draw with a heavy pencil. If I rub out some of these lines here and these lines here, you can see that we are left with a cuboid viewed from an angle. We can see its corner, which is slightly different to how we viewed the three-dimensional shape in our single point perspective video. And once again, you can decide sort of where your light source is, and you can sort of look at which parts would be shaded and which parts would be in full view. There are a few other things that you can do with two-point perspective though. For example, I've got the corner of my shape is actually below the horizon line, in this sheet. And following the same steps, so from each corner to the vanishing points, I can see now that I would actually be looking down on this shape. And it doesn't quite look right. Let me put my parallel lines in. You need to be very careful and think about which lines are which. Which lines are the ones that you want to keep and which lines are just your guidelines that are helping out. Now, if we're looking down at this shape here, this is our cube or cuboid. We're actually missing the top of the shape. We need to work out how we're going to make the top of the shape there. I'll use a different colour just to show you guys what I'm going to do so you can see it clearly. If I start from this corner here and I go over to this vanishing point, and then start at this corner here and go over to this vanishing point, you can see it gives me the very top of my shape. Let me go over that so you can see it clearly. So there is the corner, and here is the top of my shape. And we can now rub out all the lines that we don't need, and once again we're left with a three-dimensional shape viewed from an angle. Okay, and that can be done with the line below the horizon line, or it can even be done when the line is above the horizon line. And as you've probably worked out, this would give the effect of us looking up at a three-dimensional shape. So again, corner to each vanishing point. Oh, slips a little bit there. And corner to the vanishing point. Parallel lines. And then these parallel lines, this one going to this vanishing point over here, faintly, this one going to this one over here. Ooh. And you can now see where the shape is if I rub out these guidelines. Like this. And this could be great for drawing buildings or well, just anything that could be a cube or a cuboid. So have a go. Try all the different sort of techniques I've just used, so above, below and on the horizon line. See how you get along and make sure you let me know. Remember to like, share and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.